Hey everyone, hi, welcome back to my channel. This is the much needed, for me, the much needed to be talked about channel changes and like life update video that I have been meaning to do, and like a goals video, we'll get into that I have been meaning to do for several days. I've actually done a first version of it, and I didn't think, it's not that I didn't think that it went well. It went well, chatting with you all, but then I was like, so much has changed, and so much has changed in even like the few days in between filming that video and then how I feel now. I think things have changed in my feelings, you know, and so yeah, so I wanted to come to you all and give you a full life update. And yeah, so I have a feeling this is going to be a bit of a long one. I'm going to be getting ready while I talk to you about what's been going on in my life and my plans for next year for this channel and for my reading. And yeah, so I would encourage you to grab a snack, you know, or a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, a warm beverage, and cozy up, because I have a feeling this is going to be a bit of a long one. Now, if you are new to my channel, then hi, welcome. I'm so glad you are here. And yeah, if you like books and reading, if you like chatty, chill, getting ready videos where I also touch on what I'm reading and what's going on in my life, then I would encourage you to subscribe and stick around. Did I say my name was Shelly? Hi, I'm Shelly. There's that too. All right, so let's just go ahead and get into the meat of this video. I'm the luckiest mom. Okay, hi. All right, so let's just start. I have like a whole list of things. So let's start at the very beginning. A few weeks ago, we found out through a series of events that we had leaked a bunch of water from under our house. It didn't go into the house, thank goodness, because wow, that would have been a mess. But we were leaking a bunch of water, and so our city informed us that we were losing a ton of water and that our bill was unusually high. That was the first tip off. And when we investigated and figured out what was going on, the main line to our house broke. The main water line broke, and we needed to get it fixed immediately. And so what ended up happening was we had, you know, we lived without water, more or less. We would turn it on. So it didn't, the main line didn't fully bust. We were still getting water to the house, but there was just a profuse, I think that's the better word for it, a profuse leak. And water was getting all into our backyard. We didn't notice. We haven't really been in the way our yard is set up. We just didn't look back there. And so, you know, we found out that we were just losing a bunch of water. So what ended up happening was that we had plumbers. I was interrupted in my train of thought. So because the whole main line didn't actually fully break and we were getting water to the house, we could turn on the water for like 10 minutes every day. And in those 10 minutes, everybody would shower and brush their teeth, and we would fill up our water reserve, and we would do the dishes. And it was an interesting time. It was like having, you know, well plumbing or something for a little while. Oh, I gotta go get Harry. I will be back. So this water situation, gosh, I'm only at bullet point 1. Like, whew. Okay, so I did say it was gonna be a long one, so I'm not gonna worry about that. So the water was an issue, and we got everything that needed to get done. It was replaced. Things were, you know, people were in and out of the house for several days, and we got the whole water thing worked out. But it was also wildly expensive. It was, you know, an unexpected expense that we didn't plan for, and it's right at the holidays, and we had an issue with our insurance as well. Total fluke, but what we came to find out, and thank God, and I mean this in the most sincere way, that we didn't find this out through our house burning down or through some really intense catastrophe, but we didn't have house insurance on our house. It was, again, a total fluke. it was like, wow. So we had just no idea until we went to like make a claim about this water damage, and there was no damage to the house. It was just the plumbing issue. Again, I'm so thankful that it wasn't something bigger and more intense, because we wouldn't have had house insurance at all, and we would have just been out of a house or had to replace floors by ourselves. But instead, it was the plumbing, which was still incredibly expensive. And we had that replaced, and we found out, we didn't have insurance. So we bought house insurance, and we paid for the plumbing out of pocket, which was, not super fun. Anyways, I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it's like a faux pas, or like, I don't know if we're not supposed to talk about finances on the internet, but anyways, I'm just letting y'all know like what happened, because then the next part happens, and it was almost like, what? Like what, in a good way, like what? So then what happened is that I think it was literally like as the plumbers are finishing up their work, I get an email, and I have somebody that's interested in me for work. And this has, if some of you know, and if not, it's fine, I'll recap. But my husband left his work of 12 years, and we have been figuring out the next steps since that time. And that time was, let's see, he left in like September, I think. And so we have just been figuring out what to do from there. And believe you me, the job market is not super kind. There has been a lot of applications, and here, mostly on my husband's end, and I've applied for a few jobs, but he's been really hitting the job market crazy hard. And to come to find out that somebody reached out to interview me, and it wasn't a job that I applied for. It wasn't even a job that I knew about, and they found me, and they were like, hey, we would love to interview you. We think that you would be a great fit possibly for this position that we have open. And so that was on a Wednesday, and by Friday afternoon, I was offered a job. And so I was like, what? And this is the same week that the water leak happened, and the plumbers are in and out of the house, and we find out we don't have insurance. And so, truly amazingly, I was offered a position at this workplace. It's work I've done before, I'll say that. And if you know about my work history, which I talked about in another very long video, I'll leave that link down below, then you could probably guess what I'm probably going to be doing. So I think that brings us up to today. I don't know, let me check my notes. So starting at the beginning of January, y'all, oh my gosh, starting at the beginning of January, I'm going to be working, and it's been like a big flurry of emotions. It's been a lot of processing. I've had a lot of support from family and friends that have just helped me out while as I process this change that's coming up, and prepare my heart for joining the workforce. I have not been working pretty much since the pandemic, and as I have 2 little children at home, one of them goes to school, one of them doesn't, and and so the plan, even though nothing goes to plan, and I feel like planning is just an illusion of control, but the plan was that I would stay home until my youngest goes to kindergarten, and then I would find work or kind of figure out a job from there. But it happened a bit sooner than I thought, so it's been a lot of processing and a lot of thinking, and getting used to the idea of going back into the workforce. And so I have this job, and that kind of brings me to now, so I'm like looking at my notes, and I'm like, what was I going to even say? I just wrote down a list of what I wanted to touch on, and I don't have them in any order, and this is where I feel like chaos ensues. I guess we've come to the point in which I feel like this really affects the channel, my reading. So I had a whole plan. Y'all, of doing a project, and it had to do with spending. And what's up, Bubba? interruptions are just, you know, the norm for my channel. So we are just having a normal day here in this video. Is anyone else's children like totally obsessed with Christmas music right now? Both of my children are absolutely obsessed with like holiday music, Christmas music right now. Okay, so as I was saying, before all this life stuff happened, I had this whole plan and project, and I had thought it through about a project around spending. I really wanted to do a low buy year in which I only bought a certain number of books. The number was pretty low, and I was going to make sure that my intake was at a very, you know, a small number, and I wanted to focus on loving my personal library. That was like the whole focus of this project, and I was really amped about it. And I was like, this is what I'm gonna do this year. There's gonna be declutters. There's gonna be like read a chapter, choose a chapter. I'm really gonna like focus on the personal library that I have and give it a lot of love, and maybe, you know, organize it in different ways and really get to know the books that I have and what I want to read, and reckon with the books that I own, you know, whether I'm going to read them or not, and give away the ones that I don't. And, you know, I had this whole thing in mind. And then, you know, then the water happened, and then the job happened, and I was just thinking, you're really making things hard on yourself, girl. Like, you are really like taking this thing to, this is just how today is going. It's like, you know, I was just taking it very seriously, and I was like, I think that this is not going to be good for you, because it feels like high stakes, high pressure to have a very, you know, a somewhat intense and formatted, structured project out there, where I would feel kind of like I would want to check in about it every month or every couple of months, and I would want to like focus my energy on it. And like a few days ago, it came to me that I was like, that sounds really overwhelming. That sounds like a lot considering everything that's going on. I feel like you're just making things real difficult. And so I was thinking about this last night, and I was like, I want to be kind to myself in the coming year for 2023. And I really want to focus on not making this channel and hanging out with you all some sort of job. Like, I want to do it because I love it, which I do. Like, I love this space. I love everything about it. I love the community that I'm immersed in. I love you all's videos. I like all the projects out there. I'm so excited and happy for everybody who's coming out with new projects and new goals, and just like, you know, Classics and Company and the Agatha Christie reading project. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to leave this linked down below. I love the events that go on all year, including, you know, Garb August that I was a part of, which was just a whole heck of a lot of fun. And, you know, March of the Mammoths and Middle Grade March and Jane Austen July. Like, if you cannot tell already, like, I adore this space and the, you know, everybody that's involved and the way that we all interact with one another for the most part, because for the most part, everybody is so stinking kind and supportive and loving and, you know, chill in the fact that, like, you know, we don't like shun people when they don't show up for a little while, or you know, it's just like, I feel like everybody is very warm and welcoming. At least this is my perception of this corner of BookTube. And it's not perfect, you know, nothing is, but that's okay, because it's you know, it's just, we're human, and our own humanity gets in the way sometimes, and it happens, and we work through stuff, and it's just fantastic. Okay, like, it's just fantastic. So I didn't want, clearly, the overwhelming love that I have for this community and for this space and the way that I interact with this space. I didn't want the love and the enthusiasm to be blocked up with like stringent, strict rules and an intense project and I've been holding this brow pencil or brow brush for a while, so I should probably do my brush. I didn't want it to start to feel like I had to participate in this space in a very particular way. And I started rethinking my project, and I was like, I feel like if I have this really strict project that's extremely structured, that has rules, and that I'm super public about, I feel that if that happens, that I have the potential, I run the risk of feeling burned out. I run the risk of feeling ashamed if I don't do the project the way that I want to do the project, and through that shame start to feel bad, and then I start to feel bad about feeling bad, and then like I don't really want to show up because I'm not showing up in the way that I thought I would, or that I'm putting on myself that I wanted to show up. And then all of a sudden this space that is really light and loving and fun for me right now, it suddenly turns into like a chore, something that I don't want to do, something that I feel like a lot of icky feelings about. And it would all be me, because I would be the one that's like, you need to do this project in the way that you want to do this project, and you need to like focus really intensely and blah, blah, blah. You know, it was like, Shelly, you need, just get your brows on and then chat with enthusiasm. So I was thinking that indeed I do want to purchase less. That doesn't stop my thoughts. Indeed, I do want to take in less, and I want to love my library more. My own physical, personal library, I want to give it more love, because that's just what I want to do right now. I don't want to have a structure, a project, and videos related to the structure and project on this channel. I want it to be low-key. I want it to be chill, y'all, because I think that that's what I need right now. And so I decided to scrap the idea of my low buy. I mean, I think in my heart I'll be doing a low buy, but I'm not going to actually be like coming out with this project and rules and check-ins and stuff. And instead, I am going to make this my, are you ready for it? The announcement of this year's sort of theme or goal. I want this to be my mood reading year. Okay, this is my project. This is my project, non-project. This is like me setting goals in which I don't set goals. I want to mood read this year. I want to pick up what I want to pick up. I want to read what I want to read. I am involved in one book club for, you know, with people outside of Booktube or on Booktube, but we meet outside of Booktube, and then we typically talk about the books on Booktube. Like we're reading Middlemarch in January. It's the Up to No Good book club. A lot of us have channels, but we meet off of Booktube. You know, I still want that to happen because I love the book club and the interactions that I have with the folks in the book club. And otherwise, I want to mood read. I still have my classics that I want to read. I want to prioritize those, but I have all year to do that. And for the most part, a lot of those books were quite short. And so I don't really see myself like, you know, giving up that goal or anything like that. But my priority is that I want to continue to love and enjoy my reading. And the way that I'm going to continue to love and enjoy that is to pick up what I want to pick up and to draw inspiration for, you know, what's going on like in the world of Booktube, and to use that inspiration in my own way and to hopefully let that guide my mood essentially. And so I'm sure that when Jane Austen July rolls around, I'll want to read Jane Austen. When March of the Mammoths comes by, I'll want to pick up a mammoth because I'm already inspired by those events. I already like those events. I want to participate. But also, if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be mean to myself, you know? And I think that that's really the important part of this all. Is that like, if my camera did that thing where it's like, you know, we stopped recording because you hit the maximum length. So I'm like, okay, well, that's fine, camera. You can have an opinion about how this is going, but you're not gonna rule me today. So I think what I was saying was that I just want to read what I want to read this year, and I think that that's what will make this channel and my reading and everything the most healthy. And of course, again, I know that I'll be excited to check in about what I'm reading, because I inevitably do that. I've been doing this for a year and a half now, and I just, like, I love making videos. It's the truth about part of who I am. I love sitting down. I love chatting with you all. I love participating. It's just fantastic. I love it all. So I'm like, Shelly, it's hard to talk and do mascara. So my goal this year is to keep my reading and this space in the healthiest place it can be, which is always what I'm trying to do. And so I think that I need to sort of, and I don't mean take a step back, but I mean like put absolutely no pressure on myself and to see the way the next few weeks unfold, especially as I go back to work and I see where my energy levels are and I see where my reading is. And I have no doubt that I will check in about how that is all going as well. You know, like I have no doubt that I'll be like, you know, I was really busy this week and maybe I didn't read, or maybe I'm picking up more audiobooks, or maybe I'm reading a lot of short things. I don't know. And so it'll be interesting to see what a mood reading year looks like for someone who has a channel. And granted, like I know a lot of y'all are mood readers, and I know a lot of people out there have channels that are mood readers. So it's nothing unique and different, but I'm going to set my year to mood read my life, you know, to mood read in my reading life. And I'm curious as to see how that will go. And so, yeah, I think that that's kind of like the big announcement, as in like, I have a job. I don't know how many videos I'll make up per week. I'm not going to promise anything because I think it's more kind to myself not to promise how many videos I'm gonna make or how many times I'm gonna show up here, but just know that I love this community, and if my burning passion, if I foster it in a healthy way, the flame will continue to burn, and that I'm going to be mood reading as the weeks and months unfold. So there's that. That's kind of like my big announcement. All right, so I guess there's a couple more sort of booktubey things that I wanted to chat about, you know, sort of quickly. Who knows if it'll actually be quick with me. But the first one is that the Booktube Prize, the last I heard, they were still looking for judges. If you don't know about the Booktube Prize, it is a readers judged reading prize in which we are assigned groups to read. I'm making it sound kind of like an assignment. No, you know what I'll do? I'm gonna leave Robert at A Barter Hoards. I'm gonna leave his booktube announcement video linked down below. But basically, if you're a reader, if you're watching this video, if you're a part of a reading community online, then you are welcome. You are invited to judge a reading prize. And it's wonderful. I participated last year and I had an incredible experience. And, you know, the more judges, the merrier kind of thing. So I would highly encourage you all to sign up for the Booktube Prize. I did, and I'm very thrilled about it. So there's that. The second thing is that on my community tab, and if you emailed me and I haven't gotten back to you, I'm not forgetting about you. I will email you back, i.e. I probably will do that before this video goes up, so this is a reminder to myself. Just know that sometimes it takes me a couple days to get back to my email because I don't always carve out the time to sit down and like email people back. But when I do it all in like one batch, one fell swoop. But on my community tab a few days ago, I was wondering if anybody wanted to do a one-on-one chat with me about some of their favorite or least favorite books. So here's the idea. I want to call it Saturday or Sunday Superlative. I love y'all. I want to meet you all, okay? Like, this is the deal. I want to meet you all. So the plan is this. With Zoom, you get 40 minutes free. So that's like our time frame is 40 minutes. But I want the actual video that we make, you and I, because you're gonna reach out and say that you want to be a part of this. I want it to be only like a 10-minute dealio. So we'll kind of chat off camera, off recording, whatever, like off screen. I mean, we'll be on screen chatting, but it won't be recording, you know, and I want to like say, hey, get to know you, meet you actually, and which, you know, that just sounds thrilling to me. And then we can go on to do a superlative. So whether it be your favorite book and your least favorite book, the best book you read this month, the worst book you read this month. I like the opposites. I like the polarizing. I like the, not polarizing. I like the idea of opposites. So like a favorite character and a least favorite character in a book, or in two books, like your favorite character of all time in a book and then your least favorite character of all time in a book. But you know, superlatives can be anything. We know from high school, I don't know because I was homeschooled, but we know from high school that people can get very creative with their superlatives. And I would just love to know, you know, 2 superlatives from you in which you tell me something about yourself and your bookish life, you know? And that is the idea. So I would sort of be interviewing you about these superlatives, and I just cannot, in my imagination, it's just a grand old time, y'all. So if you're interested in that, then we just need to set up one day on a weekend for me, because that's when I'm the most available, and a time, and just know that like 40 minutes is sort of the max that we'll be chatting. And then, you know, come with your superlatives and we can chat through them. I really have no qualms if you mention a book that I said I despised. I'm pretty easygoing about, I hope that y'all come to me with the same easygoingness, that if I didn't like a book and you loved it, and that's just a difference of opinion, you know, and it's nothing personal. And yeah, but otherwise I'm just like, yeah, let's chat. I like it. So, you know, it's kind of like short videos in a sort of like a shorter format in an interview kind of way, in which I'm interviewing you about the superlative that you chose. And mostly selfishly, I just want to meet you all and chat and enjoy your company for an hour of the day. So again, a lot of you have reached out. I know I owe some of you emails back. Of course, it's open. I'm thinking about doing 1 per weekend, so it might just get kind of booked up. So we might, you know, it might be sometime in March, but it still doesn't dwindle the flame that I have for meeting and chatting with you all. So there's that. I think that was it. I'm gonna look at my list. So I guess in summary is that there is a lot changing. There's a lot changing, and there is a lot that I've wanted to do with my channel, and I'm just like, let's just finally do it. And one of which is to interview you all. It's something that I've always been really interested in, even far before I had this channel, far before Booktube. I have been interested in doing one-on-one interviews with people, and I've tried it in a couple of different formats, and so I'm trying it in this one, and we'll see how it goes. So if you're interested in that, whether you have a channel or not, let me know. I'm really excited about it, and just know that things are going to get busy for me, and so I don't know what this space will look like. This space, you know, my channel. I'm sure Booktube at large will continue to keep rolling as it does, because there's so many cool things going on, you know. As I mentioned, I'll leave a couple of the events and channels that I mentioned in brief down below, because there's a lot of cool stuff going on. Let me tell you that for sure. And if you don't see my face as much, if I'm not here as much, just know that it's probably the healthiest thing for me, and that I'm just adjusting to some changes, but that the love in my heart for this space and for you all has not diminished in any way. Life has just gotten busier and a bit more demanding. So yeah, that's it. That's it from me. I am so glad to have come to you all chatty style, in which, you know, there was a ton of interruptions, but I would not expect anything less from me and my channel. in my home. And I know that for some of y'all, it's like a running joke, like how many interruptions there are in my videos. But yeah, and you know, otherwise I just know that I just adore this space so much, so much. And yeah, that's honestly it for me. I think I'm spent. I've been talking for like an hour. I'm spent. So, you know, thank you so much for watching. Truly, thank you. You all are my people. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'm so, so grateful. And yeah, I'll see you all in my next one. Bye.